vectors. The personal protection, the people use to the personal protection bed nets, screens like that. What is the vector control? What are the vectors? The vector are living organisms that serve as a vehicles to the transmitted a pathogen. A pathogen means a like a diseases like causing agent to like virus or parasite from host to a human or to the an animal or both. This is a vector. They are predominantly pests, such as the insects and ticks, birds and mammals, such as the rats and mice, can also be considered the vectors, as they both can carry the transmitted diseases. The, how the vector-borne diseases big in the society? The vector-borne diseases account of 17% of the estimated global burden of the all infectious diseases. They have significant negative impact on human and animal health, along with the huge economic implication due to the reduce of human capacity and extra strain to the health services. What is threatened today? The malaria has the biggest impact on the world health. Despite 42% reduction in malaria, majority rates since 2000 due to the improve of control, the measure to malaria still kills the one child almost every minute. Dengue fever, dengue fever incidents have dramatically around the world recent decades. The World Health Organization estimates there are many ways 50 to 100 millions of dengue infectious cases in worldwide. This malaria is place one, dengue is place two. The river blindness, some other diseases like river blindness. These also onco cirrhosis, cirrhosis is the parasites infections spread to the by the bites of small black flies. That that breed can rapidly fall in rivers. It one of the big leading causes of the preventable blindness to the world and endemic into the 36 countries in Africa and Latin America. What is the Chagas disease? It is spread to the infectious bugs. The Chagas disease spread the infectious birds. About the 7 to 8 millions peoples are the estimated to the infected by the worldwide, mostly in Latin America. These diseases that start with the swelling, like eyelid, uh, um, fever, fatigue, but lead to the malnutrition, cardiac disorders, and even the heart failures also. Some other disease like sleeping sickness occurs in 36 sub-Saharan of the African countries. The flies transmit to the disease to the humans. It cattle the disease called as a Nagana kills millions of cattle in the year. What is a vector? The vector is a living organism. It usually as a insect or arthropod that it transmit to the transmitted. The example mosquito, flies, ticks, lice like that. The common vector-borne diseases like malaria, dengue, filariasis, plague, typhus, leishmaniasis. These are all the vector-borne diseases. So what is other the common vector-borne diseases? Malaria, like transmitted by the for the mosquitoes. Dengue, chikungunya, Zika virus is called transmitted by the Aedes mosquitoes. Filariasis is transmitted by the Culex mosquitoes. The plague transmitted by the flies. Typhus transmitted by the lice. Leishmaniasis transmitted by the sandflies. These are all the vectors of these diseases. Why is a vector control important? What is the importance of the control of the vectors? The given dramatic impact of the vector-borne disease can be how the human and animal vector control to the must play the vital role important to the public health and livestock management program around the world. Without this, the dangerous diseases world portfolio unchecked and with the increase the movement of population and livestock, the global spread to the disease is a growing concern. Vector control is crucial to reduce the incidence of the infections from the diseases. These especially important for the uh, which is there are currently no effect to the cure of preventive medicines measure to the available such as a dengue, chikungunya viruses. Like even for the vector-borne diseases for the which is effectively and targeted the medical treatment exist such as a malaria. The issues such as the cost of delivery connect with diagnosis, drug resistance, and other challenges to make the disease control through the use of medical drugs along the unrealistic alternative to the disease prevention by the vector control. The both prevention and treatment is are needed to the control the vector bonds. The major diseases are transmitting vectors are the mosquitoes. Mosquitoes, the breed it is uh, leaving the stagnant water, activated during the days, activated during the days in Aedes, and night times is Anopheles and Culex mosquitoes is present in the day and night. The transmitted malaria, dengue, filariasis, and other diseases like this is all coming from the mosquitoes. The flies breed from the garbage and fecal areas are decaying matters. Uh, Mechanical carriers of the pathogens. The spreads like the typhoid, cholera, and dysentery, like that. The flies are spreading the diseases like typhoid, cholera, dysentery. The ticks and fleas are leaving the animal or soil. The transmitted diseases like plague, typhus, these diseases are spread to the ticks. The principle, what is the principle of vector control? The, I will share you slide to easily understanding for you. Yeah, the principles of control methods. The source of reduction, eliminate on the breeding places. The source of reduction, eliminate. The source of reduction is eliminated by the breeding places. The environmental management, improve on the sanitation or drainage. This used to improving sanitation and drainage maintenance is well to protect the environment management to the vector control. What are the chemical controlling methods of vector control? They use the insecticides and larvicides. What is the biological control of the these vector control is the natural predators using like the using to the control of biological controlling. What is the personal protection? Personal protection means you aware of the some where the some wool hands clothes, the beds, nets, something like that. Methods of vector control. The you should see this. What is the methods of vector control? Vector control is environmental control. First one, environmental control. You first dispose proper disposal of the solid waste. So maintain the clean and drainage stagnant water, filling the pits and ditches, covering water storages, containers, maintain the clean and surrounding. You maintain the clean surroundings. It is not growing the mosquitoes, eggs and all those. What is the chemical method controlling methods of kill the vectors? Insecticides like DDT, organophosphates, pyrethroids, these all the uh, kill the vectors. Larvicides, some larvicides is used to kill the control the larva means vectors. Indoor residual spraying, spray spraying for the during the outbreaks also like fogging. Fogging is a kill the live mosquitoes and mice and flies. What is the biological controlling method? The larvaceous fish like Gambesia. This Gambesia fish is actually enter to the water body or stagnant water body and consume the mosquito larvae and kill, reducing the vector-borne diseases. The bacteria agent like Bacillus thuringiensis, some predators use kill the insects. What is the mechanical and physical controlling method? The mechanical and physical controlling of methods is mosquito nets, window screens, traps and sticks properly, protective clothing. This used to the controlling the mechanical and physical controlling method. What's the personal protection? The use of repellents to the households, sleeping under the inside the thread nets, and wearing the long sleeved clothes and all those, and avoid the vector active times. What is the integrated vector management program? The comprehensive approach that the combines of multiple control methods focusing on environmental management, like we were previously discussing about the environmental management methods. The focusing on environmental management and encouraging the community participation in the vector control methods. The use the conduct the awareness programs and use the evidence-based strategies, minimize the environmental impact. These are all the integrated vector management programs is controlling the vector-borne diseases like vector control methods. What is the role of public health and environmental health? The surveillance of vector population, the health education and awareness and implementation, the control of programs to the control the vector bonds, monitoring the insecticide resistance, ensuring the sanitation and surface water supply. What is the key points of these vector-borne major carriers of the infectious diseases? Environmental sanitation and foundation of vector control is a major play the major role. Integrated approach are more effective than the single methods of these using of chemicals and biological methods. The community participation is the essential for the uh, uh, implementing the successful programs. Uh, What is the definition of vector? Vector is a living organism, usually as an arthropod that transmitted to the infectious pathogens from the host and another. What is the examples of it? For example, mosquito is spread the malaria and dengue. Flies are spreading the typhoid and cholera. Ticks are spreading the Lyme's diseases. Flies are spread the plague diseases. Vector many transmitted pathogen into the two major ways: the mechanical transmission. One is the mechanical transmission and biological transmission. What is the mechanical transmission? The pathogen carried out the body of the part, like house flies. A pathogen carried out the own body parts. What is the biological transmission? The pathogen develop the multiple inside the vector. For example, malaria parasite in mosquitoes. Hmm. One is the mechanical. What is the main methods of vector transmission pathogen into two main measures? Okay, one is the mechanical transmission, another one is the biological transmission. What is the arthropods of the mechanical importance? Arthropods are the invertebrates with the jointed legs, jointed with the legs and exoskeleton. The many act as a disease vectors. Arthropods are the releasing so many interact with the so many vector-borne diseases. Like major groups are insects. Insects group. This is the mosquitoes, flies, lice, and flies are including these groups. Insects groups. Arcadians. Arcadians means ticks, mites. It is all coming from the Arcadian groups. What is the medical importance of these? One, they causes a direct irritation, allergy reaction, act as a vector, infectious diseases like malaria, typhoid. So some produce the toxins causes the infectious like lice, mites are creating the some releasing the some toxins to cause the infectious diseases. The transmission of vector-borne diseases, types of transmission vector-borne diseases. Mechanical transmission. The mechanical transmission, the vector carried out the pathogen externally. No evidence to inside the vector. For example, houseflies carried by the bacteria from the phases of the food. Biological transmission pathogen develop the multiple inside the vector. The types of biological transmission. What is the propagation of these method is pathogen multiples. Means, for example, plague, uh, flares, the cycle development. The what is the cycle development? Pathogen develop, but does not multiple by in this method. What a cyclopropagative means, pathogens both develop the and multiples. like malaria, parasite in the anopheles. A mosquito, what is the mosquito life cells? Mosquito life cells. So the mosquito undergo the complete metamorphosis with the four stages. One is the egg. One is the egg. The mosquito undergo the complete metamorphosis with four stages. One is the egg. The laid on water and nearby the water surfaces. And next one is larva. Larva is the aquatic stage. It feed on microorganisms. Known as it is larva is known as mosquito larva is known as a rigger. So what is the next step is a pupa. Pupa is a no feeding stage. It is called the tumbler. Tumbler. Oh, the fourth one is the adult. Adults is the emerges the, from the pupa. The female mosquito takes the blood meal for the egg development. Life cycle of like what is the life cycle on this mosquito is typically it is 7 to 14 days depending upon the temperature and species. What is the vector control measure? The environmental control. The eliminate the stagnant water and proper drainage system. We maintain the proper drainage system, and you conduct the solid waste management in particular ways, and they cover the water storage container. What is the chemical controlling method? Insecticides. Use the insecticides, larvicides, some mosquito breeding sites, the fogging during the outbreaks. Some biological method means larvaceous, introducing the larvaceous fish, bacterial agents like a Bacillus thuringiensis. Mechanical and physical controlling method. Use the mosquito nets, window screens, and traps. This is all is for the protecting the vector-borne disease. Vector are the organism that transmitted diseases causing agent. Arthropods like mosquitoes, flies, ticks, lice are the medically important. Vector-borne diseases spread through the mechanical or biological transmission. Mosquito life cycle, including the egg, larva, pupa, and adult stages, the effective control to the required the environmental and chemical and biological personal protection methods is useful to the controlling the biological method. Sorry, anthropological medical importance. Anthropods are that affect to the human healthcare grounds and into the different classes between, based on their the body structure and characteristics of the among the importance of the classes of public health or insect the crustacean like crustacean arachnidia. What is the class of insect? The general characteristic of insect body divided into the throat, thorax, and abdomen. Three pairs of legs and when three pairs means six legs. They usually have the one or two pairs of the wings. The undergoing the metamorphosis. The medical importance of insect is mosquito is transmitted malaria, dengue, and chikungunya, and filariasis and Zika virus, Zika diseases. Files are the houseflies spread the typhoid, cholera, dysentery. What is the lice are causing the transmitted the typhus and some fevers. The plague is transmitted in the plague minor typhus. The bed bugs are the cause of the irritation, allergies, reaction, and sleep disturbance. What is the cause of arcadia? Is generally characteristic of body divided into the abdominal and four pairs of legs and three or four pairs of legs and like eight legs. Uh, no wings to the these particular classes. Medical importance of the arachnidiasis. Uh, ticks is the transmitted disease such as Lyme disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, tick-borne diseases, elephantiasis. Miles the causes the scabies. Some cause the allergies. The class of crustacea is generally characteristic of the crustacea, the mostly aquatic arthropods. The body covered by the hard exoskeleton. The multiple pairs of the legs and medical important. What is the medical important? Crustacea is the cyclops, the small freshwater crustaceans acts as a intermediate host for the guinea worms. This is the infected during the water contaminating defected by the cyclops. What is some? What is the waterborne diseases? The arthropods are the important public health because of they transmitted infectious diseases from the host and another. These diseases uh, uh, like these diseases are known as a vector-borne disease or arthropod-borne diseases. The mosquito-borne diseases, mosquito-borne diseases like malaria, typhoid, dengue, filariasis, Japanese encephalitis, housefly-borne diseases, typhoid, cholera, dysentery, sandfly-borne diseases like sandfly fever. These are all the coming from the anthropod. What is the transmission of anthropodic diseases? A direct transmission from the different sectors. This is the houseflies. This is egg and larva, pupa, and adult stage of the these. What is the sandflies diseases like these are the using for the key? What is the key definitions in the vector-borne diseases? Key definitions in the vector-borne diseases like vector. Vector is a living organism, usually an arthropod that transmitted disease causing a pathogen from the one host to the another host. Mosquitoes, houseflies, ticks, plague. Play. These are the creating some diseases. What is the extrinsic incubation period? What the definition of the extrinsic incubation period is that it is the time taken by the pathogen to develop the multiply inside in the vector. After the vector became the infected, until the became say capable of transmitting the diseases. For example, in malaria, after mosquito bite, the an infected person, the plasmodium parasite develop the inside the mosquito. The time taken for the parasite reach to the mosquito salivary glands and it is extinction incubation period. What is the key point of the? It is occurring inside of the vector. It is not only human host. Definite host. Definite host means it is the definite host is the which is the sexual stage of the parasite occurs. Example in malaria, sexual reproduction in plasmodium occurs in the female Anopheles mosquito. Thereafter, the mosquito is the definite host. What is the key point point of in this matter is sexual reproduction of the parasite take place in the host. The intermediate host. The definition of intermediate host is the host in which is the larva or sexual stage of the parasite develops. The intermediate stage host is the host which is the larva or sexual stage of the parasite develops. The example in malaria, the sexual multiplication of the pseudomonas plasmodium is occur in the again the humans. There are therefore humans are the intermediate host. What is the key aspect in this? The only develop the a sexual stage occur in the host. This is the host sector. Structure of mosquitoes. What is the mosquito body divided into? Structure of mosquito is the mosquito body is divided into the three main parts: head, thorax, and abdomen. Each part of this specific structure is functioning the important feeding and movement to the reproduction. Head is contain the sensory and feeding organs. The what is the main source of these compound eyes? The compound eyes are the main source of the mosquito and large eyes on the each side. It help to the detecting of movement of the light. Mm. Antenna is present in act as a sensory organ. Antenna is act as a sensory organ. Detect the order and vibration of the host presence. The male have the feathery antenna. Females have less bushy one. Males have a antenna. Females have a bush. What are the provisions? A long needle and like feeding to the organ are used to the prick the skin and suck the blood. The only female mosquitoes bite for the blood meal. Thorax. Thorax means the thorax is the middle part of the body. It is responsible for the movement, main source of the one pair of wings. One pair of wings used to the flying, the covered with the thin scales. But three pairs of leg usually walking and resetting to the long sliders. What is the function? What is the function of frogs is supporting the locomotion, flying and resting. The third part of the mosquito is the abdomen. The abdomen is the main part of the mosquito. Is the character. What is the compound? 10 compound segment is in the abdomen. A soft and flexible body. Expand to after the blood meal. What is the function? Function of the abdomen is digestion of the food, reproduction and egg development in the abdomen, the storage of blood meal in the female mosquitoes. What is the main part of the main part and structure of the these particular head is eyes and head. Have the eyes, antenna and proboscis. Well, these used to the sensory function and feeding. The thorax are having the middle part. We have it have the wings and three pairs of legs. It is useful to the movement of flying, walking. Third part is abdomen. Abdomen have the 10 segments for the digestion and reproduction. What is the life cycle of the mosquito? These mosquitoes undergo the complete metamorphosis, meaning that develop the occurs through the four distinct stages. The entire life of the cycle takes 7 to 10 days, depending on the temperature and species environmental condition. The stage of mosquito life cycle is first one is egg. Egg are the laid on near the surface of water. The species lay the egg like some mosquitoes Aedes. The other in cluster, a cluster of the rafts. It is culex. Some species lay the eggs singly. It means Aedes. Aedes is some species are laying the eggs singly. The other species of cluster, it is called it is in culex mosquitoes. Eggs hatching into the larva within the 1 to 3 days. What is the functioning of eggs is bleaching the of the life beginning of the life cycle. And the next stage is larva. Larva stage, aquatic and free swimming stage. The feed on microorganism and organic matter into the water. It is come from the surface, breathe through the siphon. Undergo the four modes, instars, like instars. But these larva stage is called as a regular stage. Regular stage. What is the duration of these larva stages? 4 to 7 days. What is the pupa? Pupa stage. If you, this is a non-feeding stage. They activated the and comma shape. It is active and comma shape. It will move by the tumbling in water. They have distributed. What is the transformation into the adult mosquito occurs? Duration of these pupa is 1 to 2 days. What is the adult stage? Emerges from the fecal cases of the resist on water surface until the wings are dry. Uh, the male feed on the plant juice. Female takes the blood meal for the egg development. What is the function of the adult reproduction and disease transmission? The key points of the life cycle is egg, larva, pupa, and adult. The occurrence of mostly in water, the first 3 stages. But the total duration is 7 to 10 days under the favorable condition. Rapid breeding and increasing the disease risk. Mosquito larva. The mosquito larva stage is the second stage of the mosquito life cycle. It is a active and feeding aquatic stage that plays the role of the mosquito growth and development to the mosquito larva. What is the key characteristics of the mosquito larva is a free swimming stage. The larva live in the water and moves to the actively with the regular motion. Hence, the call is regular. They feed on the algal and microorganisms. They feed on algae, bacteria, and our microorganisms and organic matter also. The fourth instance is the larva grows to the four development stages called as a instars, such as stars and with a lot of sitting and outer skin. What is the duration of these stages? Larva stage is about the 5 to 7 days, depending on the temperature, food availability, and mosquito species. The additional features of these is breathing atmospheric air through the siphon, means it most of the species. They stay near the water surface and breathing, highly sensitive and distributing and quickly dive to when the uh, threatened. The public health importance in larvae are found in the stagnant water. This stage is the best to target to the mosquito control because of they are the contaminated water. They are present in the contaminated water. They cannot fly the anyway. What is the controlling method of larva? The controlling measure of larva stage is the eliminate the stagnant water, use the larvicides, introduce the larvaceous fish, and use some chemical and biological method to remove of the larva. Thus, what is the summary of these larva stages? The aquatic free-flowing stage, the feeding of alga and microorganisms, the pass through the forced instant duration of stars, a duration of 5 to 7 days. The next stage is mosquito pupa. Mosquito pupal stage is the third stage of the mosquito life cycle. It is a transitional non-feeding stage during the which is a mosquito transmitter from the larva into the adult. The key characteristic of larva pupa stage is it it is a comma shape. Pupa has like a comma shape non-feeding stage. The pupa does not heat. It is used to energy stored during the larva stage for the development. What is the duration of these pupa stages? 1 to 2 days, depending on the temperature and species. What are the environmental condition of these stages? Additional features are also called as a tumbler. Because of this tumbling movement, it is in water. This is called as a tumbler. Highly active and reproductive to the disturbance. It breathes through the respiratory trumps every time the water surface. Functional of the pupal stage. Internal transmission into the aquatic, adult mosquito. Development of in this is being. What is the development in this stage? The wings are present, legs, reproduction organ is developing this stage. After this stage, the adult mosquitoes emerges from the fecal cases, eat the water surfaces. What is third stage is summary of third stage is the mosquito life stage of the third stage is this is a comma stage. Non active in water, no feeding stage, duration of 1 to 2 days. What is the mosquito habitat? Mosquito habitat is the vary by the species and genus, but the certain general behavior or the importance of the public health and disease transmission. The only females bite. Oh, female mosquitoes are required to require a blood meal for the egg development. Blood provides the protein and nutrients needed for the reproduction. The male mosquitoes do not bite. They feed on plant nectar, fruit juice. The public health importance, the male only female transmits the vector-borne diseases. Biting habits. The many medically importance of the mosquitoes are active in night. Example, Anopheles and Culex. The bites on only nights. It is creating the malaria. Culex bites on nights. It is creating the filariasis and other diseases like viral fevers. What is the expectation in these Aedes mosquitoes are the daytime biters, the most active in the early morning and later afternoon. That are transmitted dengue and chikungunya. What is the breeding habit to the by vary by genus? Genus breeding place, Anopheles found in the present of pond, rice fields, clean stagnant water. Water type is clean and clear stagnant water. Culex breeding place is the drains, sewage, polluted water, and dirty waters. Aedes mosquito is breeding place is containers, tires, flower pots. This is a clean and store water. It is also present in the clean and store water. Monosonia is water with aquatic plants. Vegetation is a rich water. What is the key major points of this? Only female mosquitoes bites and transmitted to the diseases. The most mosquitoes bites at night except Aedes. Aedes bites in early morning and early evenings. A breeding habitat after the by mosquito genus which is important to control the measure. What is the difference between Anopheles and Culex? Anopheles means what is the key character of Anopheles is the eggs laid singly on water surface, blood shaped with the lateral floats. The larva lies parallel into the water surface. The adult poacher, the rests at the angle the body raised abdomen position and uprights. A disease transmitted malaria. What is the Culex? Culex is laid in the cluster, egg grafts. In the water surface, a larva hangs with the angle from the water surface. Uh, Adult poacher is adult. What is the adult poacher is reset the parallel of the surface. What is the disease transmission? Filariasis, Japanese encephalitis. Mm, this is what is the mosquito controlling method? Mosquito controlling measures for the public and environmental health aspects. The prevent vector-borne diseases like control stages are broadly divided into the anti-larval measures, anti-adults measures, and personal protection. Anti-larval measures. These measures target to the larva stage of the mosquitoes, which live in the water. The stage is the earliest to the control because of the larva are confirmed to the breeding site. What is the method using the anti-larval measures? Environmental controlling, eliminated stagnant water in the proper drainage system and dispatch to the pits, covering the water, stagnant water, regular cleaning and tanks of the coolers. The chemical controlling methods are used from the larvicides. The oil application on the water surfaces, uh, so, some biological methods introducing the larvaceous fish and like a gambosia, they used to the bacterial agent like Bacillus thuringiensis. Anti-adult measures. These methods aim to kill the adult mosquitoes, especially during the outbreaks of the method. The indoor residual sprays like IRS is with the insecticide. The space spraying or fogging, it means fogging. The entomologist using this method, it is affected areas. The use of insecticides and treat the resting of the surfaces. What is the personal protection? The personal protection reduce the risk of mosquito bites. What is the method using? Use of mosquito nets. They preferably insecticides threaten in threatened areas. Applications of the repellents of exposed skin. Uh, Installing the windows door screens, wearing the long and sleeved clothing, especially at the peak of biting times. This method, what is the control type, target stage, and main methods? So say anti-larva stage is a controlling type. Is the target stage is a larva into the water. What is the main source of reduction? Larva stage and fish used to the kill the this larva fish. Anti-adult phase, anti-adult target. What is the target? Anti-adult mosquito is the target. What is the main method of reducing this method is IRS fogging method and insecticides introducing the kill the these anti-adult method. What is the personal protection do you the target control type is personal protection. What is the target stage? The prevent the bites. How main methods you using for the prevent the bite is nets and repellents and screens are using for the windows and households entrance. What is the environmental control of the mosquito? The environmental control focus on the elimination of mosquito breeding sites by the modifying the surroundings. It is the most effective and sustainable method for the mosquito controlling because it prevents the mosquito from the multiplying. The main environmental control measures the drainage, stagnant water, clean the drainage and stagnant water, remove the standing water, water from the drains, ditch and other sectors, the construction sites, dust putting sites. The ensure the proper water flow into the prevent the mosquito breeding. What is the public health benefit? They prevent the breeding the Anopheles, culex and Adaf mosquitoes. The fields and feeds are the low laying areas. The field is the pathogens ditches, the unused wells, depressed lands. These use the soil and sand construction debris. What is these method is public benefit is eliminate the water collecting the areas and serve the breeding sites. What are the advantages of environmental control? Long lasting and sustainability, reducing need to the chemical insecticides and an environmental friendly weather. The cost effective is the long term method. The source of reduction of the foundation mosquito control and essential for the preventing the vector-borne disease. A chemical controlling of mosquitoes. The chemical controlling of mosquitoes involve the use of the larvicides and infectious to the kill the mosquito larvae or adults. These methods are the commonly used with the environmental control and alone uh, is not sufficient. The main chemical agent is the mineral oils, thin layer oils spread to the over the water surfaces, form a film that blocks in the oxygen exchange. It causes a suffocation to the mosquito larva and pupa. What is the advantage of this chemical method? Quick action. Do the quick action and simple method. What is the limitation? A temporary effect to the water body and larva decreasing method and not suitable for the drinking water resources. It is only the drainage and wastewater. This is useful to the drainage and wastewater. The Paris Green. The Paris Green method is the chemical compound copper astonites. The used as a larvicide in the water body, applied as a duster powder. This mode of action is a larva ingest to the particulates while the feeding. They cause the poisoning and death. They cause the death. This is useful as a decline to the environmental and safety concern. It is all the chemical controlling method. What is the advantage of chemical? Highly effective and low concentration. So the safe and used to the potable water to use used currently. This is a chemical method used to the controlling of mosquitoes. What is the biological method to controlling the mosquitoes? Biological controlling used to natural predators, biological agents, reduce the mosquito population into the particular uses of biological controlling method. It is a eco-friendly method, is sustainable method, as commonly used as a integrated vector management sector. Uh, larvaceous fish. Larvaceous fish feed on mosquito larvae in the water body, it preventing them from the developing into the adult mosquitoes. The first one is Gambusia. Gambusia is highly effective larvaceous fish. The feeding effectively on mosquito larva can survive in the water stagnant water of larva, the ponds, walls, wells, slow moving streams. What is the advantage of these Gambusia larvae? Consume the large number of larvae in daily, they hardly and adaptably. Mm, it requires the minimal maintenance. Guppy fish. This is commonly known as a guppy fish. Some small colorful fish. It feed on mosquito larvae in the walls, tanks, and small water bodies. What is the advantage of gillyfish? It means easy to breed, sustainable small water container, no aggressive and adaptable. The advantage of a biological controlling method is environmental safe and longer lasting effects are reducing the depends of the chemicals cost effective method the terms of these uses. What is the house fly is the housefly? Housefly means Musca domestica, like in Telugu ಈಗ the scientific name as Muca domestica. It's general characteristic of the houseflies are general medium size grayish insect. The body divided into the head, thorax, and abdomen. It has one pair of wings, a large compound eyes, the spawning type of the mouth parts. The mouth it cannot be bite. It means sponge type, spawning type mouth parts. The habitat and habitat. It is commonly found in the houses, markets, garbage dumping areas, dead animal sheds, attractive. What is attractive? Food, face, some decayed organic matter. Outflies are the indicator of poor sanitation because of it is a breed and dirty environmental waste environment. The medical importance of the houseflies are houseflies mechanically carried out the disease causing organism. These diseases spread in the typhoid, cholera, dysentery, food poisoning. It made of transition flies, pigs from the pathogen, legs, body hairs, mouth parts. What is the transfer them into the food and water? The public health significance. The presence of the many houseflies suggested the poor waste management, open defecation, the improper food hygiene. What is the key aspect of these? Musa domestica. Mechanical carries many diseases, indicator of poor sound and environmental health the condition. What is the sandflies? Sandflies, there is a medical importance. Sandflies are a small, hairy, blood-sucking insect belonging to mainly from the genus of the uh, insect belong to blood sucking animal, blood sucking insect. But they are important to vector several humans diseases like generally characteristic very small in body, uh, body covered with fine hairs, wings held the upright, V-shaped rest, weak flares and move to the short hopping flares, active mainly during the night and dusk areas, dust time. Uh, what is the diseases transmitted in the sandflies are like vesicular leishmaniasis means collar agent. The vector Phablotomus sandfly, the conjunctive agent is Leishmaniasis donivani. Its main symptom is prolonged the fever, weight loss, enlarged spleen, and liver anemia. What is the important public health importance of these sandflies? The serious and sometimes fatal disease unrelated. Uh, these are the sandfly diseases like sandfly fever. Sandfly fever is causing just a sandfly fever virus. The main symptom of sudden fever, headache, and muscle and joint pains, usually self-limiting factor. What are the key points of this? Sandflies are the night-biting vectors. This preferred as a dark and humid environment. A major diseases like a cholera, sandflies, oriental source. This is the sandflies. What is the tsetse fly? So it means CC fly. CC fly means it general information that CC fly belongs to the genus of Glasunia. Glasunia this found is mainly sub-Saharan of Africa. It lives in the bushy areas, river banks, and woodland regions. Both male and females files are bite and feed the blood. The disease is caused sleeping sickness. The scientific name of African typhosomaniasis. The vector is CC fly. The causing agent of typhoma parasite. What is the symptoms of the CC fly is the fever, headache, joint pains, swollen limbs, distribute the spleens cycle, mental confusion, coma in advanced stages. Why this called is sleeping like this? That disease affect to the central nervous system, causing the nervous sleep and disturbances. The key characteristic of CC fly is the medium size brownish fly, the long forwarded pointed proboscis means wings overlap like a cir- uh, cirrhosis when the rest. The both sexes, male and female, are the blood feeders. What is the public importance of these CC fly? The major health problem is part of the Africa. CC fly present in the major part of the Africa. The effect is on the both human and livestock, and the causes the economic and social impact of the endemic regions. What is the key points of the in the CC fly? Is the found in Africa areas. Vector-borne disease, vector bonds of the what is the vector disease causing the sleeping sickness? Both male and female flies are the mm, biting to the biting and blood meal. They take the blood as a meal. Rodent-borne diseases like the rodent such as rats and mice are the important reservoirs for the several infections, diseases. They contaminate the food and water. It's environmental through the urine, phase, and ectoparasites leading to the spread the diseases. What are the major rodent-borne diseases? Plague, which cause agent of bacterium. The vector is the rat plague. Reservoir is the rats. What is the transmission? The plague bites the human after the feeding of insect rodents. The symptom is sudden fever, the painful swollen and lymph nodes, weakness to the chills. The type of this is a plague. Leptospirosis is causing is a leptospira bacteria. Uh, the reservoirs of leptospira bacteria is rats and other animals that are transmitted from the contact with the water, soil, food contaminated with the redent urine, enter through the cuts and wounds, mucous membranes. What is the symptom of the fever, headache, muscle pain, jaundice, a severe jaundice? Severe cases, it is present in the jaundice. Salmonellosis. Salmon, it is coming from the rodents and animals. The consumption of food, water, contaminated feces. What is the symptoms of these uh, salmonella? Salmonellosis is diarrhea, abdominal cramps, and fever and vomiting. What are the key points of these rodents act as a reservoir of many diseases. Diseases spread to the play voids, urine contamination, food contamination. Rodent control is and sanitation are the essential for the preventing the measures. What are the anti-rodent measures? Rodents control is essential for the public environmental health because the rodents are spreading the diseases, contaminated food, and damage property. Effective the control of combines the sanitation, trapping, and chemical method. What is the sanitation is the most important and long-term method to the rodents control. The proper storage food, regular disposal of the garbage, cleaning the kitchens, eliminating the handling places. The it is a benefit remove for the food and shelter for remove the food and shelter for the rodents and prevent the rodent bleeding infections. Trapping, use the traps and remove the rodents and the limitation. What is the limitation of traps? Requiring the guard monitoring less effective for the large rodent population. These are the rodents method. What is the main method of the vector control? Main summary of the vectors transmitted diseases, arthropods such as the mosquitoes, flies, ticks, lice, these pathogens from the one host to the another host, causing the vector-borne diseases. Mosquitoes are the major vectors. Mosquitoes are most important diseases carried out the worldwide, transmitting the diseases like malaria, dengue, filariasis, and Japanese encephalitis. The integrated controlling is needed to the effective vector control requires the combination of method including the environmental management, chemical controlling, biological controlling, personal protection. This is the integrated vector management is the most effective and sustainable approach to the reducing the vector population to the prevent the addition and transmission. This is the vector controlling method. Thank you very much. Next session we will discuss about the epidemiology.